When studying history, oftentimes it is difficult to pinpoint key events that have a lasting legacy that spans generations. It is often sometimes more difficult to understand what that legacy is and how that legacy has affected the world. In Decision Points 2, we focus on two such key events that alter the course of history forever. These events were the D-Day landings on the beaches of Normandy and the fall of Japan following the dropping of the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Allied landings on the beaches of Normandy were critical in order to establish a foothold on mainland Europe that was within striking distance of the industrial heartland of Nazi Germany. Prior to D-Day, the Allies were forced to operate on the fringes of Nazi-occupied territories in North Africa and Italy. General Eisenhower and his staff at the Supreme Headquarters, Allied Expeditionary Force, had their work cut out for them during the planning process. As a result of this, the unsung heroes of D-Day are the droves of staff officers who spent countless hours making D-Day a possibility. It was up to these officers to select a landing location that would give the soldiers on the beaches the best possible chances to succeed. The decision of a landing site was crucial to the invasion due to the dire consequences if the landings were to be unsuccessful. Not only would the landings be a massacre for all the soldiers on the beaches, but would also be detrimental to the fate of the Allies and World War II in its entirety. The morale would have been unrecoverable due to the previous expulsion of the BEF from France on the beaches of Dunkirk in 1940. The already fragile alliance between the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union would have shattered, ultimately leading to a separate peace between Germany and the Soviet Union. Without the Soviet Union fighting the Germans, it would have been the Allies, instead of Germany, fighting a two-front war. Although the legacy of dropping the first two and only atomic weapons used in warfare is often placed on President Truman's shoulders, his decision was a heavy burden that began long before he took office. It was President Roosevelt, after all, who sanctioned the creation of the first atomic bomb. Following the death of Roosevelt, Truman was only made aware of the existence of the atomic bombs when he took office. Faced with a nation exhausted from years of fighting on two fronts, Truman leaned on his advisors to aid his decision to use the bombs or not. Understanding the political tensions rising in the Soviet Union and the estimated casualties for Operation Downfall, Truman gave his blessing for the deployment of the atomic bomb. The dropping of the atomic bomb on the Empire of Japan established one of the most controversial legacies of World War II. As we saw on the discussion board this past week, the legacy of the atomic bomb still sparks a lively debate even today. This debate is important to continue to have due to the continued relevance in modern-day politics. Since the atomic bomb was first dropped on Hiroshima on August 9, 1945, the power of the atomic weapon has continued to create world tension between countries all over the world. In modern-day politics, merely the enrichment of nuclear materials has been enough to cause countries to become hostile towards each other. This is the legacy of the atomic bomb.